Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and we're designertechtips.com. Well, we got a fun one for you today. It's a bit of a follow-up to yesterday's. In yesterday's video, we showed you how to create this sticky bottom footer here that just appears when you roll down to the bottom of your site. And we just threw a bit of content in there. Today, we're going to show you how to turn it into a pop-up contact form from the little button we've got here. I've got a little button there. If I left click on it, it's going to pop up this contact form. People can fill it out, send it off, and X out when they're done. And because this is in our footer, it'll work on every page. Let's go to a different page. We roll down to the bottom now. There's our footer again. And there's our little contact form. So because we made it into a global footer, it's going to pop up on every single page. Now there's no plugins involved in this today. We do have to do a little bit of coding, but it's simple copy and paste, and we've done several of these in the past. We're using a bit of code from Elegant Themes to do this today, and I'll put this link down below the video for anybody who wants to use it. Let me take you through it. Okay, I'm going to go back into my theme builder and quickly undo what we've had going on here. I'm going to go to the back end. I'm going to delete both of our sections here. And I'm going to add a new section from our library, which is the footer that we built yesterday. I can delete that now. And we're back to how we were yesterday if I flip to desktop mode there. I'm not going to rebuild this. For anybody that wants to learn how to build this one, have a look at yesterday's video. I'll put that link down below this video also. Okay, so now we're in here. Let's actually build the contact form that we want to pop up. And we're building it inside our theme builder right here. So it's going to happen on every page. For anybody that doesn't know, to get your theme builder, go down to your dashboard. Once at the dashboard, go down to Divi, and there's Theme Builder right there. If you click on it, it'll take us to this page here, and we're working on the global footer right here. Okay, let's build the form. I'm going to add a new little section, blue button to add a new section. I'm going to make it a regular section. I'm going to put a single column in there, or single row with a single column. Funnily enough, I'm going to put a contact form in there. Now you can build this as complex as you want. I'm going to keep it very simple with just a contact form. Put in a title if you want to. And I'm going to move that title into the middle. I'm just going to roll over it, hit the little paintbrush. It'll take us straight to the edit for it. I'm going to pop it in the middle. I'm actually going to make it white in color. Actually, before I do that, if I turn it black so you can still see it, I'm going to put the line height up a bit so it's got a bit more space there between it and the content below, I mean. And let's turn it back white. Fantastic. Now the important part, you can add more fields here, obviously, and we've built these plenty of times before. Just add a new field. Decide what kind of field you want it to be. Text area, checkbox, radio buttons. When you're happy, just hit the save there. It'll appear. And if you don't want it, you can trash it. If you want to move it up, just left click and pull it to where you want. I'm going to trash that one. Okay, success message is what's going to pop up once they hit the submit button there. Put in whatever you want to say there, just to let them know it's been sent successfully. If you want the submit button to say something other than submit, you can type it in there. I'm going to leave mine just as it is today. The important part is the email address that this is going to be sent to, which is your email address. So whenever this is filled out, it's going to send it to this email address. I won't go into message pattern today. We've done a whole video on that. If you want to redirect them when they hit submit rather than have that little pop-up message, you can do so here by enabling this and putting in the URL you want to take them to. We've got a little sum there, spam protection. You can turn it off right here. Or if you want to use a third party such as Google ReCAPTCHA, you can do it here, turn that on, and you'll need a Google API key to make that work. Don't want to link it to anywhere. I'm not going to put any background in here. I'll put a background in this section. So I'm going to leave everything else just exactly like that. Like I say, I'm keeping this pretty simple for this today. I'm going to go into this section, make it a little bit more like our section we're popping up from. So I'm going to go down to background. I'm going to throw in a blue color like we did with that section above. I'm going to throw in an image also. Chuck that image in. I think I used that last time. I'm going to blend the color and the image together by rolling down background image blend. I'm going to put mine on multiply, and you can get some crazy things going with these filters, so do play with them. There's some great stuff there. Great, well, let's save that. There's our little pop-up contact section. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this section a bit of a fixed height. That way we can make it scroll. For instance, if somebody's looking at it on a mobile device, they may need to scroll down a bit further. And if you want that to happen, you need to give this a fixed height. So I'm going to go into our section again. Design-wise, I'm going to go to sizing. In the minimum height, I'm going to say perhaps 60 VH, which is 60% of the viewable height of whatever device that they're looking at it on. And the important part here, if you want it to scroll, we've got to go over to advanced, visibility, and vertical overflow. I'm going to set that to scroll. And you should see a little scroll bar appear over here. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to save that. We've got our contact form that we want to pop up in a moment. And I want to use this button to pop it up with. But because it's a call to action button incorporated in this module, I need to change things around just a little bit. So I'm going to go into this module. I'm going to go down to link. I'm going to take that link away, which will make that button disappear. I'm also going to take that background color away, because the one on the left here, we've got that background color in the column. This one, we've got it on the module. So I want similar to this over here. Content, you always find background under content. There it is. Let's just take that away, hit the little trash can there. And I'm now going to add a new module underneath this. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to hit my little plus for a new module. I'm going to put a new button in there. It's popped it down the bottom there. You can leave it as click here or whatever you want to put on yours. I'm going to leave it as click here, I think. I'm not going to put a link in there. I'm going to leave it just as it is. I'm going to go to design. I'm going to pop it in the middle. And I think I'm going to make the button itself just light in color. Use custom styles. You can go to town and do hover colors and all kind of things like that here. I'm just going to turn my text white so it's similar to the one that was there before. Great. Well, I need to go in here. That's way too far down, that button is, because I've got a lot of padding on the module above here. So I'm going to go into that module above, design, spacing. Yeah, it's got 132 pixels top and bottom. I'm going to uncheck that so we can do them separate values. I'm going to give it, say, let's say 80 pixels on top and 0 pixels on the bottom, which should pull that button closer. Fantastic. Great. Now I want to make it look a little bit more like our column on the left here. So that's an easy fix. I'm going to go into the column on the left. I'm going to right click on that left column there, which is the top one. Copy item styles. I'm going to right click on the one below it, which is the right hand one. I'm going to paste item styles. And we've got that background on this one. Fantastic. I just want to add a bit of padding on the bottom to align it with this. Now I can do that in the row if I want to. I could do in this row. Let's go ahead and do that. So I've gone into this column right here. I go to spacing. I'm going to uncheck that. Let's just add a 1 on in front of that 30 and see what happens. Well, that's pretty close actually. Just need to increment down a little bit. Something like that. And they're pretty similar there. Great. So we've now got our main setup here. We've got the button that we want to use to actually pop up our contact form. Now let's take a look at this code over here. I can close down that tab. So if we look at this page here, and like I say, I'll put this URL down below the video. About halfway down the page, we've got some CSS code. It starts with the word body there, and it ends with a curly bracket. You need to copy all of that from the B of body to that closing curly bracket there. Control C to copy. Then we need to go back down to our dashboard. This time we're going to either go to your theme customizer or just the theme options. Roll down, we're on the general tab here. We roll down to the bottom, we've got a custom CSS panel. If there's something in there, you can just scoot it down and paste this code on top. Or you can put it at the bottom right there. And there it is right there. I'm going to undo that because I've already got my code further down. And once you've put it in there, make sure you save your changes until you get the little green check mark. Just to show you, my code's down here. I think it starts on about line 150 or something like that. There we go, body not. Now if we go back to this page here again and roll down just a little bit more, we've got a bit of JavaScript. And again, we want to copy this from the opening script tag there to the closing script tag at the bottom. Make sure you get all of it. Again, Control C to copy. This time, we're going to go up to the top of this page. We're going to go over to integration. Add the code to the head of your blog. And again, if there's something there, you can paste this on top, or you can go down underneath and paste it underneath. I'm not going to paste mine in there because I've already got it in there, as you can see. Okay. Once you're done, hit your save changes. Make sure you get that little green check mark. Now, if we look here, it's going to tell us to make things pop up, we need to give the content a class name of ETLB button content dash and a number. So I'm going to copy that, Control C, and go back to my theme builder, and this is for the content, and this is our content we want to pop up, our little form here. So I'm going to go into there, I'm going to go over to Advanced, CSS IDs and classes. Make sure you put it in class and not ID, it won't work. Now the number on the end, I'm going to increment up because I've got several pop-ups using this on this site. And you can have several pop-ups, but you just need to increment the number. So I'm going to perhaps put a 9 on there because I know I've got 3, 4 or 5 other ones on this site and I don't want it to conflict. So we've given it that class name, ETLB content with a 9 on the end. We now need to give our button a class name. So if we go into the button there, over to Advanced CSS IDs and classes, we look back at this page. It tells us here we need to give our button the class of ETLB button dash and a number. And that number needs to correlate with the content we want to pop up. Mine was a 9. So if we go back to here, make sure again we put it in the class name, not the CSS ID. I'm going to select it. 9 was what I used in the other one, so that's what I'm going to use for this one. And we should be good to go. Let's save the changes here. Save the changes in our theme builder. X out at the top here. Make sure everything's saved on this page. It said it was, but I'm going to do it just to make sure. Now let's go back to our site here and refresh. You won't actually notice any difference because it's the same layout as I did before. Roll down to the bottom. There's our footer appearing right there. If we roll over our button, we can click on it. There's our little contact form popping up right there. They can fill it out, send it off, and then X out. And we'll just check that on another page. Go back up to the top there. Let's perhaps go to the home page. And it should be exactly the same deal. We'll roll down to the bottom. There's our little footer appearing there. We roll over the button. We'll click. And there's our little contact form today. Now the CSS and the JavaScript, it puts in a little closing button up here. Mine's white at the moment, and by default it's white. If you're using something with a white background, you're not going to see that. And you may want to change its color. So to do that, it's really easy. If we go back to the theme options, to where we put our CSS in, which was in the global, in the custom CSS box down here, here's my code, starts there. If we roll down, they've actually put a note in there, color of the closing icon. I can change that to any other web color I want. You can use an RGBA, a hex color, or you can just put in red or whatever color you want there. Again, make sure you save your changes till you get that little check mark. If we go back, we'll X out of this, we'll refresh that page again, and we'll pop up that form one more time. You can now see we've got a red X up there, which will stand out. Well, it stands out pretty well on this background. Any background you want. Like I say, you can change that to any color you want. And because we've built this into the global footer, this one, it's going to appear on every single page automatically. And I've done this on several sites, and the customers really like these pop-up contact forms. So don't forget, I'll put the little video of how we built this initially down below the video for anybody that needs to see how that's built. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video just like this one. So once again, this has been Jamie with System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.